Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Fitriyana Ramli from PBIB, and in this video I will explain about the material on session 7. In the 7th session of the discourse analysis course, we discuss about casual conversation, which will also be the topic of discussion in my video on this time. In addition to studying class conversation discourse as a structured situation use of language, it is also important for English language teachers to know how discourse work in relaxed situation to help their students achieve effective communication outside the pedagogical setting of the actual world of interaction in his social life. Oral discourse that occurs among people outside the classroom or within real-world situation are then referred to as casual conversation or casual conversation. Casual conversation usually use a lot around the people we communicate with in our social interaction. It is generally seen as a cheerful, unstructured, and unrestricted way of speaking. To be successful in social interaction, students must be taught not only how to master form of language, but also to know the function of language, because speakers in real social interaction often express their utterance whose function has nothing to do with the conceptual meaning of their utterance. However, one form can perform two or more functions and vice versa. Function teaching language will help students to function the form of language or which has been they learn in class effectively, socially, and naturally in real-life conversation. When students are good at language forms but not good in language function, they will easily face pragmatic difficulties in understanding and using language function when trying to communicate in real situation. Okay, next let's discuss about speaking as a transactional discourse. According to Richards, speaking as a transaction refers to a situation where the focus is on what is said or done. The meaning of the message that makes a person understood clearly and accurately is the main focus. In our social life, transactional speaking can be identified in the form of discussion, debate, job interview, and something like that. The main characteristic of transactional speaking is the first is serves to exchange information. The second is oriented to the message, that means communicating meaning. The third is participants use mutual understanding strategies. The fourth is more question, repetition, comprehension checks are needed. And the fifth is negotiation of ideas usually takes place. And the last is language accuracy is not always important. According to Richards, that transactional speaking participants need several skills to enable them to engage in transactional discourse activity. Skill can be classified into participant ability to explain the need or intention, explain something, ask a question, ask for clarification, confirm information, justify opinion, make suggestion, clarify understanding, make comparison, and agree or disagree. Okay, the next discussion about performance speaking discourse or public speaking. Speaking performance is recognized as the third scope of oral discourse which refers to public speaking. According to Richards, speaking performance is a type. Speaking performance is a type of spoken discourse aimed at conveying information in front of an audience that is usually conveyed in the form of monologue rather than dialogue, such as class presentation, public announcement, lectures, or speeches. When a speaker speaks in front of an audience, the speaker often uses a closer formality to writing than to interpersonal spoken language. Performance speaking can be described as the process of communicating information to the audience by using formal language. For example, making speeches and oral presentation. Many people think that performance speaking is very difficult to do for two main reasons. The first is speaking in front of a group of people requires his self-confidence in order to overcome anxiety or stage fright when giving a speech or presentation to an audience. While not everyone, people have high self-confidence. The second reason is public speakers are required to make effective speeches. When public speaking is concerned with discussing how to make effective public speaking. Burhanuddin and Kaharudin claim that being effective when speaking in public means that public speakers should strive to make their speeches in front of their audience easy to understand and to remember that audience are affected by speech. Therefore, they need to know four things, namely how to choose the right topic for a speech. The second is how to use communication strategies when speaking in public. The third is how to use generic structure of speech effectively. The fourth is how to speak in public using the right language in terms of expression and proper grammar for certain function, such as those commonly available in public speaking. I'll discuss analysis that to do regarding skill is to identify generic structure hidden in speech and classify the expression used to describe the function of each component of speech. I think that's all my explanation about the material on session 7. I'm sorry for many mistakes in this video. Thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.